All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is meteorologist Elijah Kirby with Shelbyville Weather, and we are live due to a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued here for western Bedford County. Now, I'm going to take a second here to make sure that I can get the comments up so I can see y'all's what y'all are saying and answer your questions here. And if you have any questions for me, please come over to the Facebook Live just so I can see them. It's the easiest way for me to see everything. But anyway, we're live here due to a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for the severe thunderstorm that is coming out of Marshall County here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that we can see it pretty well. As you can see here, the purples showing up on the radar right here would be where the strongest hail is located. So it's fixing to come right into Lewisburg. We're going to get a pretty good view on it here from the Lewisburg camera over the next few minutes. But this severe thunderstorm warning is for Unionville, Rover, not Rover, Unionville, Wheel, Bedford, and Pleasant Grove. So Unionville, Wheel, Bedford, and Pleasant Grove are currently under this severe thunderstorm warning. This warning does not include Shelbyville yet, does not include Wartrace, Bell Buckle, Normandy at this time, doesn't include anyone in Moore County, and doesn't include anyone in Coffee County. But as this storm continues to move off to the east, we're going to have to keep a close eye on it here. So here's a look at the storm. Let's go ahead and see what the specifics are with this warning. So it's moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour, so pretty slow moving storm here. But 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail will be the main threats. And again, I really think that the main threat here is going to be the quarter-sized hail with some of those higher pink and purple values showing up there in the middle of the storm just east of I-65, or just west of I-65. So here's where the hail core is right this moment here. This would be right outside of Lewisburg and moving right into downtown Lewisburg. So if you're in Lewisburg, know anyone in that area, make sure that they are inside and away from windows as this hailstorm moves in. And hopefully we'll get a good look on it here from the Marshall County camera over the next few moments. So as this storm continues to move off towards the east at 20 miles per hour. So here's a look at the Bedford County EMA camera. Not much going on, a few dark clouds in the sky, but it's 82 degrees, dew point of 56, so pretty muggy out there today. So definitely enough fuel here for these storms to strengthen and produce some pretty significant hail. So I'm going to go ahead and put a storm track on this, moving off towards the east at 20 miles per hour. Tornado warning screen on. I really need to get that fixed. I apologize for that. There's no tornado warning in effect. I don't know why that come up, but hopefully you can, you were able to hear some of the communities that would be impacted by this. So we're live here for this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for western Bedford County for the next 35 minutes. And this is for quarter-sized hail and the potential for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So if anyone has any questions for me, please feel free to to send them to me in the chat room here, and we'll get them looked at. Yeah, I apologize for the tornado warning thing popping up. That wasn't supposed to pop up. So yeah, I'm doing my live stream here from the house today, and the internet sometimes cuts out, so probably not as smooth as it usually is. So please bear with me. But we're going to be working on that very, very soon. Okay, did not hear any of the storm track. Let me do the storm track again here, and hopefully the tornado warning thing won't come back up this time. So. Okay, I think I realized what it was. It's the number 2 key on my laptop. So hopefully y'all be able to hear the storm tracks here now, and I have the communities here listed up on the screen. So we have Wheel in about 36 minutes, Bedford in 45 minutes, El Bethel in 58 minutes, Shelbyville Mills in 59 minutes, Shelbyville in 66 minutes, Flat Creek in 74 minutes, Bottle Hollow in 81 minutes, War Trace 87 minutes, Bug Scuffle 90 minutes, Courtner 97 minutes, or 95 minutes, excuse me, and Normandy right at 100 minutes for this particular severe thunderstorm warning. So looking at the latest scan here from the Huntsville radar site, it looks like the hail core might have come down just a little bit here, but coming into Lewisburg, we still have a very strong storm, and it's going to get in on the worst of the hail here in just a minute. So we'll be able to track this one fairly well here as it enters western Bedford County. So if you're in Wheel, if you're in Unionville, if you're in Bedford, if you are in Pleasant Grove, you need to be getting towards shelter. Just make sure that you're indoors and away from windows. Don't have to treat this like a tornado warning. This is just a severe thunderstorm warning. But we want to make sure that we're taking this very seriously with the severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. So just make sure you're indoors and away from windows as this severe thunderstorm warning and this severe thunderstorm is about to enter from Marshall County. So we still have a little bit of time here before it gets to us. But one thing that the Weather Service has been noting is that there's a little bit more storm fuel and storm energy here on the eastern side of I-65. So we will have to see if this storm can perk up a little bit as it crosses Interstate 65 and continues to move off towards the east and towards the better storm fuel and instability. So that's something to keep in mind, that this storm has been pretty impressive in the lower amounts of storm fuel. So it's moving into an environment that is even more primed and ready for severe weather to occur. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this storm. Right now, there is not a immediate concern for tornadoes or anything like that. We'll go ahead and look at the velocity products just to see, and no reds and greens close together here, so we're good in that department. And honestly, it doesn't look like the damaging wind threat is even that great on this particular storm. This looks like a pretty textbook large hail supercell here over Marshall County. So we're just gonna take a minute here and see what this storm is doing. Those are either some really big raindrops falling in Lewisburg, or might be having some large hail here. Not exactly sure. Can't see the ground very well, but it does look like some pretty impressive rainfall, if nothing else, with this severe thunderstorm that is moving through Lewisburg right now. So it looks like the hail core is probably going to come right over Lewisburg. So that might be a little bit of pea nickel-sized hail here. But it definitely looks like it's lost a little bit of its impressive radar presentation over the last little bit as it's moved into Lewisburg proper. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Have about 30 minutes here in western Bedford County before the worst gets to you. I'm in Lewisburg, no hail yet. Thank you very much for the report, Miss Christina. And Miss Jessica said the same thing. Just heavy rainfall right now. So what we're seeing there is just some giant raindrops on the Lewisburg camera. So not hailstones quite yet. Shelbyville, you have about 45 minutes before it gets to you. So a little bit of time here, and Shelbyville is not under a warning right now. This is just a severe thunderstorm warning for western Bedford County, far western Bedford County, at this current moment, anyway. Tullahoma, we have about an hour or so. Let me go ahead and do the storm track again. Probably better than just trying to estimate here the times. So I'm going to draw it out from the worst of the hail core here and bring it out into Coffee County just a little bit. It's going to say tornado warning popped up. I'm going to have to fix it once I get off the live stream. So I'm going to cut back over from the tornado warning slide very quickly. So hopefully no one gets confused with it. Okay, so I'm back very quickly. I'm glad that I finally got it figured out so I can go in and change it really quickly once I get done. So we have a wheel about 36 minutes, so a little bit longer than what I was originally stating. And El Bethel about 57 minutes, and Shelbyville 65 minutes, so just over an hour there in Shelbyville. And Wartrace 80 minutes, Cortner 90 minutes, Normandy just under 100 minutes, and Tullahoma 105 minutes. So, it looks like that it's going to be in the along the 269 corridor within the next, give or take hour and a half or so. Unfortunately, I can't give, specific advice on what, what you can and can't do with outdoor plans tonight, but I would definitely suggest keeping an eye on the radar, keeping an eye on this storm that's moving in and from Lewisburg right now, and it's moving off towards the east. So Shelbyville, Manchester, even down towards Tullahoma, Wartrace and Bell Buckle are probably going to get a good thunderstorm out of this cell. So it's very, very important to keep that in mind. And then, of course, we do have the severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect on top of this supercell thunderstorm, or I'll just say, severe thunderstorm cell we have. I wouldn't quite call it a supercell at this point. But it is interesting, the Lewisburg camera just went offline. So I guess it rained a pretty good bit. Or a pretty good little storm there in Lewisburg. Okay, it just come back up again. That was interesting. So this is right at the worst part of the cell here, as it is coming through Lewisburg here. And, it's really hard to see with the camera up this far if you don't have it right up at the ground. But it looks like it might have got knocked offline again. Uh, Let me zoom down in here and we'll look and see where it's located. It looks like it's right off of Franklin Avenue um, at the Hardison Elementary School off of Franklin Avenue in Lewisburg. I'm not too familiar with Lewisburg, but hopefully somebody will know where that is. Um, but yeah, that's where the camera is there. It looks like it just went offline again. Um, but yeah, we're just kind of waiting here for the worst of the storm to come into western Bedford County. Um, the worst of the hail is just on the east side or the west side of Lewisburg, and pushing off towards the east. And again, the better storm ingredients are actually in Bedford and Coffee County, but we'll have to see if this storm maintains its intensity or not, because we might have to drop the warning early, because it doesn't look all that great right this second. But I'm going to look at a few different radar products here. This is called the Digital Vertically Integrated Liquid, and this looks at the height of hydrometeors, or rain, snow, sleet, hail that is suspended up in the atmosphere. So this is looking off the Huntsville radar site, and some pretty intense values here showing up over and just to the west of Lewisburg with this storm. And you can see a lot of these storms have pretty impressive values here, with even some grays showing up that indicate some of the highest values you can have, meaning that there's a lot of ice and a lot of hydrometeors that are suspended up in the updraft of this storm, especially as it, as the storm goes up in the atmosphere. But I will note that the values just decreased pretty substantially here coming into Lewisburg with this storm. So we'll have to see if this storm can re-strengthen again. And looking at the echo tops, this is looking at the tops of the, it's pretty impressive. But there are some, like this severe thunderstorm up here in Wilson County has clouds extending all the way up to 43,000 feet. So that's even a little bit higher than what we're seeing here. So impressive, but I don't know if this storm is really severe at this current moment. So we'll keep an eye on it just in case. I'm sorry if the stream is lagging a little bit here. We're dealing with some the Wi-Fi isn't, the internet isn't the best where I'm at right now, but we're fixing to announce some things coming up here soon, and this will be a non-issue here in a few weeks. So I appreciate everyone for sticking with me and being patient as we navigate the next little bit here. But trust me that there's some big things coming in the next few weeks, and we won't have to worry anything about internet or anything like that here very soon. So Mr. Billy says there's a dime-sized hail in Lewisburg right now. Thank you very much, Mr. Billy, for the report. There is nothing in effect for Moore County right at this moment. All good in Moore County right now. So the only thing we're watching right now is this severe thunderstorm here. Severe thunderstorm warning in Lewisburg. And right now I'm having a hard time believing that this storm is over severe limits. There's some dime-sized hail falling, but that's probably the biggest that we're seeing right this moment. But, it could perk back up. This severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for another 20 minutes here. And the worst of the hail is along 431 here coming out of Lewisburg. And this will track into southwestern Bedford County towards the Bedford and Pleasant Grove communities over, the next 20 minutes or so, okay? So that's really what we're watching at this current moment. There's some light to moderate rain here that's going to impact probably along the State Route 64 corridor near Wheel. But I think the severe stuff will be to your south, and you'll just get some thunder, lightning, and moderate to heavy rainfall there along the 64 corridor, and then to your south there in and around Pleasant Grove is where the worst of the storm is likely going to track. So we'll do another storm track here with this particular storm. Now, it's important to keep in mind that these are, rough estimates, but they give a good idea here of what times we can expect. And as always, they're sorry, I was looking at one of the chats that I saw, and as I try to remind people of here is that these times can change, depending on the circumstances. If the storm is able to maintain its strength, if it weakens, that a lot of stuff impacts storm motion. So it's important to keep that in mind as well. That this is not an exact time when you can expect it, but just a good general overview. When I put in the number 2 here, I'm going to go to the tornado warning information slide for a second. There's no tornado warning in effect, but I'll quickly get back on the live stream scene and you'll hear me again. Okay, got that done with quick. So it's moving east at 20 miles an hour here. So here's some of the impact times. We have Shelbyville in 54 minutes. Probably a little bit quicker than that if I'm being honest here, but I think we're moving a little bit quicker than 20 miles an hour in my opinion anyway. But Bedford says here 32 minutes. I would say more like 15 or 20. And Bottle Hollow, it says 68 minutes here. Wartrace 75 minutes. Courtner 82 minutes. Courtner's Mill 82 minutes. Normandy 85 minutes. Tullahoma 90, just above 90 minutes, excuse me, and Fredonia in 112 minutes. So I ended the storm track right before Manchester, but I would say Manchester probably around Fredonia's time. There at 112 minutes or so. But for the time being, this storm doesn't look very impressive. It did back when the warning was issued, but at this current moment, anyway, we're looking pretty good here with this particular cell in western Beaufort County. Yeah, no rotation here for with this storm at this current time, anyway. And someone asked about Petersburg. This storm will go north of Petersburg. So it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled here for western Beaufort County. So right now it's just a run-of-the-mill thunderstorm, which I agree with. But we are watching because if you look off to the west, there are more storms starting to fire up here. So even if we were able to get rid of this warning here that's coming up here in the next few moments, we're going to have to keep a very close eye on the storms here that are firing off just to our south and west. So continue to stay weather aware over the next little bit. I'm going to actually do a radar live or a loop here, so we can kind of see what's going on. I'm trying to zoom in as close as I can so we can see all the communities, but don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not, because Lynchburg might get cut off down there. Well, you can see Lynchburg at least, so that's an important thing in my opinion. So anyway, we'll be back on here if needed, but for the time being, I'm just going to do a radar loop here, and we're going to go down to 21 frames. We don't need, or actually, I'm going to do 14. We don't quite need 50 frames. But that storm continues it looks even worse than it did just a couple minutes ago. So I think that's turned into a non-issue for the time being. But, if we need to come back on for a new warning, we will. But for the time being, the severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled, and we'll just do a radar loop. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be back on if needed. y'all have a great evening. If I don't have to get back on, this is meteorologist Elijah Kirby with Shelbyville Weather. All right. Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Elijah Kirby. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the live stream just for the time being here, trying to conserve a little bit of battery here on my laptop. But if we look back to the west, we still do have some storms that'll be moving in here from Lawrenceburg and Pulaski and coming into Marshall County right now. So we're going to keep a close eye on those, over the next little bit. And we'll come back with a new live stream if it's required, over the next few hours. So thank you guys for tuning in to the severe weather coverage so far today. And I will be back on if needed. So thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed Thursday evening.